What is going on, everybody? Excuse me. Welcome to the show, episode number 32 of another Sports Talk podcast. If you like talking sports, mostly baseball, stuff like that. Hey, before our show, Hope and John will be here soon. Before our show, over on Mr. Infuego's channel, you can see Mr. Infuego. You can see Mike Rippon for Rookies, and they do a lot of sports talk, sports card talk, sports talk. Again, mostly geared around baseball and stuff. So don't stop. They go at 7:00. So if you're always looking for something to do before this show, you can go there. So happy Wednesday, and holy cow, is it hot out? I hope you guys are keeping as cool as possible. I know it's crazy out there, but man, a bunch of stuff going on. NBA, you have NBA, the whole free agency and trade stuff going on. The Celtics are gonna trade Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia for Paul George and a bunch of picks and pick swaps, and surprised. Surprised. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect. I mean, I thought that Boston would keep him at least for another year. He has 3 years left on his contract. There was no real need to trade Jaylen Brown. Not exactly sure why, but you got to figure, I think, why Paul George has, they're not like, well, let me say, like, they're not, if you look on, what is it, Spoke Track, you know, um, they're not really saving a whole bunch. Paul George he has 1 year, and then I think he has a player option. So basically, you know, that in 2 years from now, who's going to offer Paul George, you know, any kind of serious, contract? Nobody. So they basically got him for 2 years. They really are only getting out of 1 year from Jaylen Brown. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Um, unless they're thinking those draft picks, or that Philadelphia, won't be good. Maybe they're looking at Joel Embiid and uh, and figuring, hey, Joel keeps getting hurt. Joel keeps getting hurt. Those picks are not going to be that great. Who knows? I but I think I don't understand the trade. Especially like I said, Boston is only getting 1 year's worth of relief from payroll. They must be hoping they just try and maybe stock up on those draft picks, because I think when it's like 2028, 2030, I think it is, and then they're doing like pick swaps, and I don't know. Then they have all this other kind of crazy stuff. It's like, oh, we have a second round pick, but it's the better of the pick between Golden State and somebody else. I mean, I don't get it from Boston's perspective. From Philadelphia's perspective, I guess it kind of sort of makes sense a little bit. Boston's perspective, I don't know. Like I said, they're not getting out of that much salary. It's only 1 year. Paul George has the player option. So, not sure. Not sure what the real deal is. Like the Yang, it is. It definitely is. You know. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Bobby Bonilla Day. Yep, still owed 10 million. Yeah, still owed another 10 million. 'Cause I think it goes to 2035. Crazy. I can't disagree with you there. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, you look at what Boston has done. They added Mitchell Robinson from my Knicks, which um, you know, might sound like a good thing, coming off world championship, but Mitch been very, very tough, and stuff like that. And then you have, um, Paul George, who's another hurt guy. So I don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, Maxey, Embiid, Brown, VJ. I mean, you know, again, I think a lot of it will a lot. I, look, they're gonna go as Embiid is gonna go. I know that sounds kind of weird, just because those big men. You know they change. They change the game. If you get a couple of if you have a couple of wing defenders, you can slow down a Maxi, a Brown, even a VJ. But not a lot of people have the big center that can go ahead and stop. You know, but it's all dependent upon health. If the guy ain't healthy, if a beat ain't healthy, you know, how good are they? So I don't know. I don't understand Boston's. Like I said, if Boston was not bringing back that Paul George contract, like I said, I just looked it up on Spotrac, and unless I am, I mean, honestly, unless I'm missing something, it looked as though he had, what's his name, Paul George has 2 years left on that contract. I mean, that ain't, you know, that ain't, that ain't chopped. Now, I mean, yep, Smart left the Lakers for Houston. LeBron is moving somewhere too. I think, hey, Boom Slang, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. The LeBron, this one's an interesting one. I mean, people are wondering, is it Cleveland? Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. People are wondering, LeBron, is it Cleveland or is it Golden State? There was a rumor thrown out there that he was going to go to Golden State, and they were going to try and trade for AD and have AD, LeBron, and Curry. I mean, I guess maybe you give it a shot, see what it could go ahead and happen. LeBron to Miami, that would be funny. But hey, you know what? Not going to joke. On a on a veteran minimum, why not? You know, I can see LeBron coming to the East. James Ben is not a combo. Well, you're right. But you could kind of sort of see him doing it just to get out of the West and get to the East. Um, but I mean, man, you would think Cleveland would be the place for LeBron, right? Wouldn't you think that? Wouldn't you think Cleveland would be the place for LeBron? I mean, how many more freaking years is he gonna go ahead and and play? But Jalen Brown's contract value is $285 million. His average is 57 million. So again, I understand they make that trade and everything. I don't understand the Boston side. I won't understand that one. Yeah, but Marcus Smart. I mean, there's the Lakers are trading for Walker Kessler, and he's going to sign a big deal there. John Morant going to Portland. That makes no sense. I didn't understand that one. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, unless yeah, unless yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, imagine LeBron going to Philadelphia, signing a vendor minimum. Anything is freaking possible. Yeah, they got Kessler. I don't know what the trade was, but I think he's signing what 4 years, 130 million or something along those lines. Um, Good pickup for them. I mean, good pickup for the Lakers. They needed a big man. Surprising. What are they doing with Aiton now? Right, because they still have DeAndre Ayton. I think he opted into his $8 million contract. Um, so I don't know, man. I think it's interesting. I mean, you look at some play like Colin Sexton. He was the guy who was supposed to. Everybody thought was going to be on, but now he's going to the Lakers too. LeBron wants to win. He go to the Spurs or something. 100%. 100%. I mean, I could see him going to the Spurs, to be honest with you. You know, because in his mind, he'd be passing the torch from himself to Wemby. I think that's how he would look at it, in my opinion. But I don't know. You know, who knows? You know, who knows what's going on. I mean, the Lakers made a couple of moves. I mean, they did go ahead and get some shooters or guys who can shoot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, I don't know, but you just go, just say, look at another big trade. Like we're saying, Brown being traded, Giannis got traded. So hey, look, obviously anybody's able to be traded. Draymond Green went ahead and he opted out of his of his contract. So who knows what's going to happen with him? Again, not a big deal as far as numbers on the court, but just a big deal of thinking that he would have retired, as a Golden State, Warrior. But I guess that's not going to happen. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how things keep moving with the NBA. I mean, I can't believe. I mean, I would think you know we wouldn't see that many more stars being traded, but you never can tell, man. You never can tell what's going on. He did just give up, right? Okay, so he is not leaving. Okay, I thought he was going to be leaving. From that standpoint, it's amazing when you look at it how you know one of the things people are concerned about when it comes to Jalen Brown, what's going to be the fantasy impact? It's crazy. But so they traded Jalen Brown to the Philadelphia for Paul George, two first round picks and two second round picks. Finals MVP for Paul George, two ones and two twos. I don't know. I don't know. Supposedly they want LeBron and AD. I don't see that working for them. Too many old guys. Yeah, I don't think it would work either. Um, Now, as far as trying to get AD, you would think. I mean, what's the reason that the Wizards would want to hold on to AD? Why would they want to have that salary and all that kind of stuff? So you would think that would look as some potential there. Uh, but again, I don't know. I mean, okay, well, so LeBron will play all the time, but how many games you gonna get out of uh, what do you call it for AD? Wizards said they won't take offers for some reason. Yeah, I don't understand that. Why? Why? You know, let's see here. Teams. Washington Wizards. Anthony Davis makes $58 million this year. His cap hit is $58 million this year. He has a player option for next year, and that player option is $62 million cap hit. If you could get away from, let's say, 58 and 62, if you could get away from $120 million for a guy who can't stay healthy, why wouldn't you? What is he going to bring to you? Maybe is it going to be one of those things, Walker, we talked about, the way what do you call it? Damn it. The way the draft lottery is going to go. Maybe they think, hey, we'll suck, but we'll suck to end up at number 4 and not number 3. So I don't know. Um, I don't understand what Washington would be looking at to try and do that. The Memphis Grizzlies are training Santi Aldama to the Mavericks for AJ Johnson, a protected 2030 first round pick, and two future second round picks. Yeah, that's part of the thing, and that's crazy. This whole the NBA, you can't trade consecutive year first round picks, but then they throw these second round picks around like there's just like they're throwing out rice at a friggin' or people do rice more bird seed at a wedding. Yeah, George Saw, yeah, to go with Bonanza, yeah. But they ain't going to win. Then and look, they owe AD 58 this year, 62 next year, and they just agreed to pay Trey Young $50 million a year. He signed a 4-year, $212 million contract. So LeBron, I don't know if he would go. I mean, you're right. If he wants to win, he'd go to San Antonio. But San Antonio did go ahead and sign Tobias Harris. Um, so who knows? Trying to think who else. So Zach LaVine opting into his $49 million player option. No kidding, really. James Harden declined his $42 million player option, but he's hoping to get a new multi-year deal with the Cavs. If you are the Cavs, why are you going to offer that guy anything massive? I don't get that. Like I said, Kessler's going to the Lakers, and DeAndre Ayton went ahead and his player option. Yeah, I don't understand why they're working on some kind of deal. I don't know. I do not go ahead and get it. Not sure where John is. I did send him a text message, and he hasn't responded. I hope all is well. Uh, hope all is well, whatever's going on over there. But I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, they are getting married on Friday, July 3rd, and it will be at the arena of your NBA champion, New York Knickerbockers. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married at Madison Square Garden. Are you kidding me? I don't. Yeah, yeah. It was funny. They were supposed to get married someplace else, but then the venue got leaked out. So now what? Now they're going to go. So now let's go ahead and go to one of the most famous, arenas in the world. Oh, I hope not. You never know though. It could be on. Maybe could it be live on that on his and his brother's podcast? I hope it isn't. Baseball's tough right now, man. You know, the dog days of summer. I know. Again, I don't know where everybody. I don't know where what it's like where you are, but holy cow, here, it is just ridiculously hot. Have the streets get flooded, and they're off some other place. That would be funny, man. Yeah, same thing here, man. Seager goes back on the IL. Chapman goes on the IL. Judges are waiting to see what's going on with him. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I think we're the exact same way here. Um, like right now, it's 92 degrees. The overnight low will be 73. You know, but tomorrow. So, well, I think we had what the. It's just it's just absolutely crazy. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be 100 degrees. It's supposed to be Friday, Saturday. I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Supposed to be 100 degrees here. And then it's gonna cool off on Sunday to 97, and then Monday it's gonna go to 99. Then it's gonna cool off to 95. Ooh, I mean, I get it. I get it. If you're now, I understand that. Now, it's a very interesting point because if you're going to agree to a salary cap, more players, less money. So that would be interesting. That would be really interesting. 28 man, I guess. Look, I think when you look at what is out there right now, when you're looking at the quote unquote talent level, I mean, here we are. We are in. We're July. It's July number 1, and there are only 8 guys hitting over 300 in the MLB. 8. I think so. I think that's what they'll probably wind up doing. 27. You know, um, but there's only 8 guys. What? All right, we'll give Ernie Clement benefit of the doubt. He's at 299. So there's basically 10 guys that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I was right. 9 guys that are batting over 300. 9 guys that are batting over 300. We already have 11 players with over 100 strikeouts. James Wood is leading the league with 125 strikeouts, 88 games, 339 plate appearances, and he has struck out 125 times. Think about that. Unbelievable. I mean, he's basically struck out almost a third of his at bats. No, oh, it is a third. Over a third of his at bats, he has struck out. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And he has 66 walks. So plate appearances would be, you know, right around 400 plate appearances, 125 strikeouts. You know, you know, baseball is crazy, man. Baseball is crazy. Home runs are so productive now. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's Schwarber has 30, Alvarez 26, Hunter Goodman. Who had Hunter Goodman on their bingo card as being the one of the one of the top National League home run hitters? Goodman, Buxton, Junior Caminero, Rice, Wood. There's Wood, 22 home runs, 125 strikeouts. Colston Montgomery, 21 home runs, 108 strikeouts. You can't get 4 hits and inning to score runs anymore. No, that's true. That's true. It is definitely becoming more and yeah. It's I don't know. The game has changed. Yeah, Rice has been a big surprise for the Yankees. Um, he yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that uh you know, he's helping them stay afloat. Yeah. Excuse me. They're in second place. He's helping them stay afloat. Excuse me. Uh, from that, but I don't know, man. I don't understand what's going on. I, I know. I saw that the other day. 105 miles an hour. That's absolutely crazy. It is absolutely nuts. What what is going on? Um, it's just it's just crazy as to what is going on with with these athletes, with these players, how they're able to go ahead and do what they do, how they're able to, you know, turn around and throw 100 freaking miles an hour. Huh? Like that's mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. That hard. When I played and where I played when I played on, when I was growing up on Long Island and stuff, and when I was in high school, we had some guys who could throw hard, but I don't think any of them were nowhere near that. I'd be surprised if they were, maybe they were in the low 90s. Uh, there was one kid for our high school I know who could throw 93-ish to 95-ish in high school. So um, he should have went somewhere, but between the two ears, no good. The right arm, very, very good. Between the ears, no good. No good whatsoever. Injuries do keep piling up. Well, 9 starters this year. They are down to having to do bullcrap. I know. A lot of players are getting hurt. They just announced Matt Chapman got hurt. Corey Seager. Um, he's back on the he's back on the DL. Um, who else was it? The judge is still out. I mean, which is that kind of stuff is not. I mean, the truth is that stuff is not good for baseball. If you're having a bunch of these well-known star level players, well, yeah, I mean the Mets the Mets starters. I mean, look at it this way: you only have one less win than the Mets, so it ain't like you're going ahead and uh, it's not like you're going ahead, and are that far behind. I think, well, you look at us. I mean, oh. Nolan McLean was supposed to be unbelievable. Well, I mean, second, they put so much pressure on the kid's crazy. The Freddie Peralta trade, which I don't understand, I have no idea. The only thing I could think of from a Freddie Peralta standpoint is maybe he's one of those guys who just is not good, in New York. That's the only thing I can think of. But then when you look at his numbers, it doesn't show anything. He's 3-3 at home. He's 2-3 on the road. Well, I'm sorry. He's actually 2-4 on the road because he took the loss today. And I'm thinking that might be what it is, that he just can't. I remember, what was it? Was it the 80s, or I mean, was it the 90s, or was it the 2000 or early 2000s with Ed Winston? Remember him? He's pitching for the San Diego Padres. He's supposed to be, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Woo, man, going to be the greatest. Unbelievable. People couldn't believe when the Yankees made a trade for him, and then he just sucked big time. He sucked big time. Couldn't handle New York. Supposedly he left, and supposedly he left New York, and then he kind of got back to stuff a little bit. Um, I don't I don't know, man. Again, Javier Vasquez, yep. Carpavano, yep. There are a lot of guys. It's just, I mean, and the funny thing is look, Freddie Peralta's playing for the Mets. I mean, it ain't like, he's playing for a team that is, going to battling for a World Series. You think, oh my gosh, yeah, he's battling for a World Series. That's why that's where the pressure's coming from. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Nope, nothing. I mean, so I don't know. Uh, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then there are guys like David Cohn, grew up in Kansas City, but I love it. Yeah, there are those players that do it. There are those players that, I mean, look, Aaron Judge, I mean, stuff like that. I mean, there are players who have gone to the big city and gone. David Wells was another one who seemed to go ahead and do a lot better, who did well. I mean, but there are just some guys that when they go ahead and they they put a New York uniform on, it just changes everything. I can understand him hating it. I can definitely understand that from him. Because to me, um uh more of a country boy, right? More of a country guy. So I could kind of sort of understand that. Sorry, just got a text. Sorry. All right. Yeah, Randy Johnson hated it. I don't know. I just let's see. Oh, hey, just so we know, USA against Bosnia Herzegovina. Sorry. I guess they're in the 37th minute. Zero, zero. So be nice to see the U.S. How is it? Hey, so what's it like over in? I know Kansas City has had mean, they've been doing a lot. What's it been like there, Locking, with the whole World Cup, if you don't mind me asking? Damn. There's a bobblehead giveaway. The red, white, and Bobby. The bobblehead tops the oh wow. A Bobby Witt bobblehead. That's pretty cool. Pretty amazing. What do you? I tell you, nice to see Cags go ahead and and doing better. From what how he started slow and everything. So it's nice to go ahead and see him. Um, nice to see him going ahead and and doing a lot better. He struggled there a little bit, but it's all good. Algeria and their base camp here in town. Everyone went crazy for them. That's good. I'm glad that the American people are showing, all the fans of all these teams that they're showing them, a good time, that everything is working out well. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have anything going on over here, man. I'm still a little bit taken back by that Boston Philadelphia trade, but hey, that's neither here nor there, or whatever it may be. Um, Over the weekend, we talked about it last week. Over the weekend, we had WWE's Night of Champions, and you know, I mean, first with the with the regular matches, the Tiffany Stratton Jade Cargo one. I mean, I knew that, oh, hold on a second. Videos and stories of all the Euros here for the first time of funny. Yeah, when they see all the first stuff and everything. I mean, like they're trying Texas barbecue or Kansas City barbecue. They're going to Bucky's. They're seeing different things at like Walmart and all different stores. So, very, very cool from that perspective. Very, very cool. Um, but like WWE had Night of Champions, and the Jade Tiffany match, another one of those. Why we really, never had ranch. Oh, it's true. That's right. Never had ranch dressing. I forgot about that one too. Um, you know, Not sure what they were trying to do with that one, but it is what it is. I kind of knew. I had a feeling. Kind of had a feeling that when they attacked Charlotte, that she was going to somehow, you know, help Tiffany by getting involved with Jade, stuff like that. Which whoop de do. The Io Sky Liv Morgan match. I mean, it was okay. Uh, I you, you go ahead and and Ridish get the crown. Hey, I will see you. That makes me believe, that not only I didn't think she would go after Rhea anyway, but I think it just, it makes me believe that, Rhea probably needs more time to heal up, and they don't know for sure if, she's going to be able to go at SummerSlam. So we'll get that rematch in what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is. The King of the Ring, 100%. So the King of the Ring means nothing. Like, why have Oba in there? You know, why why have Oba Femi in there and then not go on to face for a title? Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand why, and I think the reason is I think they're looking at this bloodline thing and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Because you gotta think about it. I I believe that if you have Oba go up against Roman, that you really have to have Oba win the way you are building him up. 'Cause I don't know how you have that match, but then have Roman win, unless it's not clean and they do something along those lines, which anything is possible with the WWE. But, you know, "Oh, don't worry, the title match will be there. I want Brock Lesnar." Well, I mean, then why didn't you have Brock interfere somehow? Why don't you have Brock do something at Night of Champions along those lines and everything, you know? So, I mean, I just, I don't get it. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do with Oba, but at some point in time, they're going to put the belt on him. To me, I just hope it's one of those ones where he keeps the belt for a while, right? This is not going to be one of those ones where it's, hey, you know, maybe that's what their thought process was. Look, if he goes against Roman at SummerSlam, there's going to be a call or a want for some kind of rematch at Survivor Series. What are you going to do? You're going to have Roman lose, Roman lose again. So I mean, I don't know, so, or have Roman win and have Oba's first, you know, reign be what 3 months. So that part, I don't understand that. The Trick Williams, Ricky Saints or Starks, whatever the hell his his name is. Uh, that was a nice little filler, but who cares? Yeah, could have put someone else over. Well, that's true. That's right. I think Money in the Bank is going to be. So I think here's what I think they're doing. So obviously, then they had the triple threat match, and they give the belt to Sami Zayn. So I I I think a lot of people figured it was going to happen. The one thing for me, I didn't like the finish. I mean, really, a little roll up like that. It wasn't like Cody had been hurt or anything like that. Like I would have loved to have seen something along the lines of um, Gunther have Cody, in a sleeper, and he's getting ready to go to sleep, and then Sammy, I don't know, hits him in the head with a chair or does something, then runs him into the ring post, and then he comes in and he puts the sleeper on him. He goes, well, like I know that was more corny, but I almost would have rather have had that happen, from that standpoint. We could be getting Cody and Sammy again. Here's what I think. What if you have Cody go up against Sammy again? Cody wins, and now Cody is a a three-time now or a four-time champ. And then you have CM Punk win Money in the Bank. Then he could try and he can say, hey, I'm gonna cash in, but I'm cashing in at WrestleMania, and you get Cody Punk at Mania. I think they have more finishes like that. I think they should have more things like that instead of having it do whatever weak finisher. Yeah, for like the third time. True. That's the only thing I can think of that they might be trying to build up. I mean, because they have developed a little bit of a story with Cody and Sammy of Cody saying he's annoying and blah 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 blah. But like I said, that might be something you can consider, doing from that standpoint. You can consider, a Money in the Bank. winner. Let's say, like I said, a CM Punk, and CM Punk cashes in on Sammy, and then he's the champ at WrestleMania, and then it's Cody against Punk that way. So who knows? Um, they're gonna do whatever it is. I just think, to me, I think it's what the part that sucks is with WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia next year, that you could go ahead and you could have um Oba Roman, with Oba winning and him winning over in Saudi Arabia. I would love to see that. I really hope they give Julia they give her more of a shot now. But the women's division, they have all this talent there, and you know, not saying that it's good talent, bad talent, but there's so much. They have so many women that you know good wrestlers like Julia get lost. You know, Look, a big thing, her English getting better is going to help her a lot. Really, really, really going to help her a lot. Um, but you know, where are you looking? Is she going back after Tiffany for a U.S. title? I don't think I can't see Julia. I mean, if she wins a briefcase, that's one thing, but just through the normal progression, I don't know if I see her rising through the ranks to go up, against Rhea, or, whether it be Liv or Io after SummerSlam. So maybe, she might be a mid title. So she's going to you know, against, try and get it off of Soul, the IC off of Soul. They're going to go for Tiffany if she still has the belt, and have her go ahead and, Julia go there. I, you know, it's just crazy to figure out what they're trying to do. I mean, now you're going to have this rift between Charlotte and Jade. I mean, you think about it, for whatever it may be. I know she's not the greatest wrestler, but she's had big time matches on big PLEs. Jade, we know, Charlotte's history and where she's been and what she's accomplished, and now they're middle of the card, just wrestling each other. We're going to get, at one point in time, when you look at the popularity and look at where they were, again, not saying that Jade is a good wrestler, but with the push that she has continues to get, you're talking at one point in time, you're talking, you know, you know, the queen, the 14-time champion. And now all of a sudden it's, hey, we're in the undercard, and we're, or not, might not even be that. I can't believe, based off of the run-in that Charlotte did this past week, just against with Jade, against Jade helping Tiffany. I can't believe that that's going to wait for a PLE to have that match, right? You would think that they would do something now. Maybe they don't. SummerSlam, they've already said it's going to be between 13 and 14 matches between the two nights. You know, we already know they're not going to do a lot of stuff with so we'll have to see from a title perspective, which ones will they put on, which ones won't they put on. We already know two matches. Liv, Io. We know Brock against sorry, we know three matches. We know Brock against Oba, and we know Seth against Roman. He's hanging out, man. Dom, I know, is busy. I was talking. He and I texted just a little bit ago. He's busy. He's probably going to try and keep it in the background and everything. Maddie, I don't know what's going on with Maddie and Brandon. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. Um, so you have three matches already. So that means you got between 10 and 11 more matches to come. As long as he has the belt, they're not going to keep Sammy off of SummerSlam. That would make zero sense. So um, who knows? Like I said, I don't. I don't have a good feeling as to what they're gonna try and do, where they're going with stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see how, you know, where they go from here. And then to your point, you mentioned about money in the bank. Okay, you're gonna have men's money in the bank, you're gonna have women's money in the bank. Then we have to worry about that coming up next. That's true. Trick will have some kind of match. I'm sure Javon Evans will have some kind of match. You know, I would think Penta. Um, you would think with new tag team champions or newer tag team champions of the Street Profits, you would think they'd give them something on one of those 2 nights. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens over the next few months few months, sorry, next few weeks as to what they set up. Are we gonna get Jay versus Jacob? Yeah, at least one of them won't, right? I mean, what's gonna happen with this whole thing? What's gonna happen now with Jay not going ahead and bringing, and winning King of the Ring? What's gonna happen from that standpoint? So, pardon me. So who knows? I don't know. Yeah, it is August 1st and August 2nd. So basically it's in yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 weeks from Saturday. Yeah. So basically you have four more Raws and you have five SmackDowns, but we already know SmackDown for July 3rd would have been taped. So who knows, what we're gonna get. I don't like I said to me, I don't know. I think in my opinion, I think that I think they made a mistake with with Oba, you know, uh, of saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna, I'm not worrying about the title. I want Brock Lesnar." Again, if Brock would have, jumped in the match and interrupted somehow, even if you let Oba go ahead and win, but Brock comes down and does something, you can understand, from that standpoint of him going, "Hey, you tried to make me lose. Now I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna take you out." Um, it's gonna be interesting to see if there's any talk about, retirement for Brock. Um, I don't know if he will. I don't know if he won't. Um, doesn't I don't feel, one way or the other. The United States has gone up 1-0. Very nice. 1-0. USA, 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 bye bye. So that's good. I have been picking up some product when I see it in stores. So once I can figure out the best way to make some videos, I will start to get some get some videos back out there for everybody to check out. Uh, I would, who knows? Maybe one day I will, maybe I will go ahead and do something. Uh, maybe I'll do something, out on the deck with the lake in the background or something like that. But the problem I got is we have to let the this heat go ahead and get away. Lots of upsets too. Yeah, the field is more open. I mean, I don't know what would happen. Argentina, France are still monsters. So yes, they are. They are. I mean, I have to believe that they're obviously number one, number two for potential of winning. Um, so we're at halftime. USA 1-0 over Bosnia Herzegovina. So hey, we can score one more. Help us out a lot. Um, I mean, I've watched some clips on ESPN, but I have not sat in front of the TV and looked for it. I haven't looked for it in the app. I haven't, not even like I said, I haven't not even, this one right now with the USA. I could honestly say I probably the USA would have to be in the finals, I think, for me to watch. I think maybe the game, maybe if they get to the semifinals and it's the game to get them into the finals, maybe I'd watch a little bit of that. I don't know. Um, Nothing against the game. I just never got into it as a kid. So obviously, I'm not into it that much, uh, you know, as an adult. So, so, but it's all good. It's all good. What do we have going on? Anything else going on? Anything worthy to talk about? Not really, folks. I mean, hockey is going to be interesting to see what happens. Some trades and everything, but not a lot of people like to talk about hockey. But there are some players, out there. Dylan Larkin, Jake DeBruck, Aiden Hill, uh, Alexander uh, Nikishin, Daniel Nurse, Morgan Riley. I mean, there are some guys out there, you know, potentially that could get traded and stuff. So, we'll see. We will go ahead and we'll go ahead and see what happens here. Uh, yeah, someone drafted a 7'1" guy. Hockey, really? 7 foot, 7 foot hockey player. The Sharks. Holy smokes! The Sharks' seventh rounder Alexander Karmenov becomes the tallest player. 7'1". How the frig are you 7'1"? 7'1". I mean, crap. Zdeno Chara was 6'9" and he looked like a frigging giant. 7'1", and then he's on skates. You got to figure what a skate's 3 inches gives you about 3 inches. So he's like 7'4". Holy cow! Must have a custom stick. I would think so. Got to be the friggin'. So let's see. What about this kid? 201st overall pick. He's a defenseman out of Moldov. Tallest player drafted. If he plays the game, he'll become the league's tallest player ever. There have been 3 people that have been 6'9". Don't worry, there is video. He's 18 years old, weighs 280 pounds, which would make him one of the heaviest players in the NHL. First, he spent 25-20 season for the Brantford Titans in the Greater Ontario Hockey League. Wow. Wow. He's set to play next season with the Battalion before playing college hockey with Penn State. Holy smokes. Yeah, and being 18, he still could be growing. Yeah, oh, my goodness gracious. Wow. So he was the final pick of the successful draft. So who had previously won the second pick. Yeah, that's crazy, man. 7'1". Holy smokes. Wow. Holy smoke. Wow. Woo. Lordy, lordy, lordy. So, well, all right, gang. Gentlemen, Thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. Um, Not sure where John is. I did go ahead and send him a text message. Hopefully everything is okay. Keep him in your thoughts, please, to make sure everything is okay with them. Uh, enjoy the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Happy 250th birthday, America. Uh, Gonna be interested to see if they do, you got fireworks shows going off, but man, I tell you, in certain areas, with as dry as it is, I don't know if I'd be I don't know if I would be, lighting off fireworks with the potential of going ahead and causing a big problem. But again, thanks a lot for hanging out. Much appreciated. Again, happy 4th of July. Be smart. Don't be stupid. Don't do something dumb. Relax, watch, stay hydrated, because if you're in those areas where it's crazy, man, like I said, here we're gonna have 3 days right around 100, between like 98 and 101, I think. So stay hydrated, stay cool. There's nothing wrong with staying inside. And I will go ahead and see you next Wednesday, same time. Don't forget, uh, if you're looking for other live shows from 7 to 8 o'clock before this one on Mr. Infuego, you get Mr. Infuego and Rippin' for Rookies. Thanks a lot, everybody. Enjoy. Have a great evening.